I'm Chris with Carnival Cruise X, and this is episode 194 of Yakety-Yak, straight from the Yak's mouth. John Heald, Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, posts on his Facebook page where you can ask him questions. He answers the questions. We read the questions and the answers, and we take the cool, the lies, the myths, and we put them here for you so you don't have to read 1,000 questions a day. So on this episode, we're talking about, can we please bring the trays back to the buffet? I have really expensive jewelry, and can I lock it up in guest services? I need an electrical outlet next to the bed for the CPAP machine. I have a child under 18 and they don't have a picture ID. And if I'm tipping at the casino tables, who does that tip go to?
And this is straight from the Yak's mouth.
All right, question one. This cruiser wants Carnival to bring back the trays for the buffet. In the morning, they get their coffee and their breakfast, and it's difficult to carry both at once. And if they go ahead and put their coffee on the table and then go back and get the food, the crew's so efficient, they take their cup of coffee and it's not there when they get back. John said they will not be bringing the trays back. Aesthetically, they looked awful, and it certainly didn't help with the battle against food waste. Me personally, I do like the trays, but they're not bringing them back. In a previous post, John said the other thing you can do is find any of the crew members and say, hey, can you bring this back to the table for me? Or help me bring this back, and they will absolutely help you go back to your table so you're not spilling coffee everywhere. Pro tip, there you go, straight from John. Question two. This cruiser asked if it was true that they can put their expensive jewelry and money in the safe at guest services. They have never heard of this until a blogger said it. They also want to know, how safe is the cabin safe? John said it is not possible to use this safe at guest services. The safes in the room, well, they're safe. And I can attest, they absolutely are. We've been on a bunch of cruises, never had any issues. A lot of people are like, oh, the room stewards are going to go in there and open my safe and take my stuff. They don't have access to it. We know this because we had a little bit of an issue with our safe on the last cruise, and we grabbed our stateroom attendant and we said, hey, we're locked out of the safe. Can you open it? She's like, no, you have to go down to guest services. Luckily, she knew a guy. And she was friends with security. Security came up, and security is the only one that can open your safe, and it has to be in the presence of other employees. So they're not just going to your room and stealing your stuff. It's just not gonna happen. So if you like to bring your stuff on and you like locking it up, like we do, not jewelry, but we lock all our wallets and stuff in there, the safes are just fine. You're totally safe. Get it? Speaking of like, if you like what you see and you enjoy cruising content, please like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate that. All right, question three. This cruiser would like to request that they add an electrical outlet next to the bed for those that use a CPAP machine. They hate having to stretch an extension cord all the way across the room, and it's kind of a trip hazard too. John said, well, they have been adding more of these to the lamps that have a 110 power USB and USB-C charging ports to most of the ships that are coming out of dry dock. On our last cruise, so if you have to use a CPAP machine or you want an extra power, your lamps next to the bed, there's normally two of them, are plugged into a European outlet behind the bed. So we just bring our European adapters, unplug the lamp, because Lord knows there's enough light in that room, plug that in, and you're not running the extension cord everywhere. So if you have that option, it works spectacularly. Question four. This cruiser has never cruised with a child under 18 and was wondering, since they have a teenager that does not yet have a picture ID, what is needed for them to embark the ship, as they don't have passports either. John said all they need is a birth certificate if they are under 18. So anybody over 18, you need an official government issued ID. Under 18, just a birth certificate. Nice and easy. Last question. This cruiser was wondering if they tip at the blackjack table after winning a nice hand, who does it go to? Does it go into a pot for the dealers? Does it go to the pit boss? Does it go to the management team? How exactly are those tips split up? John said it's an easy answer. It is shared amongst all the dealers. So your pit boss, your managers, they are not involved with that. So if you want to tip them, trust me, they appreciate it. If they just gave you a nice big hand, you feel like tossing them a couple bucks, it all adds up at the end of the cruise and it will go to just the dealers. So there you go. That's been episode 194 of Yakety-Yak, straight from the Yak's mouth. Thanks for watching. Please take care.